Yeah.
Jaquez to the Heat, Ryan, for me, was my favorite pick of the draft. Like, every year there's a guy who gets selected by a team, and you're like, that dude is just that team. Like, he is the perfect fit. Everything that the Heat stand for, Heat culture. If you ever watch Jaime Jaquez play any kind of basketball at UCLA, he is going to fit in there so perfectly. Jimmy Butler is going to love that dude.
Yeah.
Spoelstra's going to love that dude. Bam Adebayo is going to love him. The way he can switch off on multiple defenders. He's so good in the mid-range. I mean, he's just the perfect Miami Heat player. I thought that was a great pick. There was a little run in there, like middle of the first round, where Jaime went 18, and then the 2 picks before that, Keontae George went 16 to Utah. I love that pick for the Jazz. Instant bucket getter. And then 17, Jalen Hood-Schifino went to the Lakers.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really good play. Point guard out of Indiana.
Yeah. Brandon Miller. So here's the thing about Brandon Miller. I thought that was the safe pick because I don't know if Scoot and LaMelo could play together. There's one ball. They're 2 ball-dominant guards.
Right.
And I don't know that Scoot could reach his full potential playing off ball, and I don't think LaMelo would play off ball. And what are you going to do, bring one of these guys off the bench? You're not going to do that. Plus, neither are the best shooters. So I thought Brandon Miller was the safe pick. And I think his floor, I mean, he's a 6'9" guy. We know, teams get physical with him. We worry about that. He's not the best athlete, but he plays enough defense. He's a willing defender. I think his ceiling is a player, and I know he's the number 2 pick of the draft. Actually, I'll say his ceiling is Paul George. I think his floor is a little bit higher than a lot of people. I would go like Chris Middleton. I think he could be like a Chris Middleton, and he's a little bit bigger. He's 6'9". So I thought that was the safe pick. I like that for Charlotte.
I agree.
I think the worst pick of the draft, in my opinion, and who knows, maybe I'm wrong. What the hell do I know? But is the president of the Orlando Magic fan club here for the next 5 to 6 years. Jett Howard at 11 not only cost me money, but what the hell? Why Jett Howard?
That's the thing.
What am I missing
here? They have
here?
so many guards now.
If you're going to make a reach, or if you're going to reach like that at pick 11, why not go with the better shooter, Jordan Hawkins, who shot 40% from 3 last season and won a national title, played in some big games. I know, he's not the best defender. I don't know if he could create his own shot, but I would have taken Jordan Hawkins over Jett Howard. I would have taken Grady Dick over Jett Howard. That's what I don't understand, man. Like, Orlando needs shooters. Grady Dick's a 40% three-point shooter himself.
Right.
Even if you don't love his game, and he could create his own shot a little bit. I didn't understand the Jett Howard pick. So I don't know what Orlando was doing right there. Yeah.
Mine's Bills money line against the Jets week 1.
That's a terrible bet.
Why?
Because the Jets are going to win that game.
No, they're not.
Peach, it opened at 3. We're down to 1.5. Jets are winning that game. All right, are you like Mraz and everybody else?
No.
Jets are winning the Super Bowl.
They're not.
Single me in on this damn camera.
They're going to the playoffs. They're going to the playoffs. They're not winning the Super Bowl. Let's RELAX relax, okay? Let's stop all that nonsense.
See, okay, really quick on that. I bet the Jets at a great price. I would not bet them wherever they're at right now.
Sure. No, the price you got them, 100%.
Right. But I guarantee that the Jets win the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers is
Aaron
Rodgers is going to throw at least 50 touchdown passes this season.
But what does that mean? But you as anyone should know that when it comes playoff time, that means nothing.
Here's the thing.
That means
Aaron
nothing.
Rodgers has only had a top 10 defense one time in his career. What did he do that year?
Won the Super Bowl. But
how many times has Tom Brady had a top 10 scoring defense?
But the Bengals are talking too much. It's the Chiefs. They're talking way too much. Now, they do have the talent to back it up. The problem is you're talking to the wrong team. Like, don't be talking to Mahomes. The last team you want to upset. Ryan, I truly believe if they didn't do that Burrowhead stuff, they go to the Super Bowl. Like, I truly do believe that. I think, like, that Burrowhead stuff, giving the Chiefs, like, that extra notch of motivation, that was a lot. That carried a lot, man. Like, they talk too much. Like, you can't. There are certain teams that you can get away with, right? Like, when the 2000 Ravens talk smack and you have that defense, that's one thing, okay?
Or like the Legion of Boom.
Legion of Boom, you can get away with that.
For sure,
but when you're talking smack to, like, arguably the greatest quarterback of all time, like that, you can't be doing that.
Yeah.
You just, especially when you're on the road.
Yeah.
That was a big no-no.
Are you surprised that Wake Forest got knocked out? Now, I know there's only been one actually, number 1 overall seed that's actually won the national championship. That was back in 1999. It was Miami, the very first year of the current tournament format.
Yeah.
And we know about the curse of the number 1 seed. We saw it again last year. Like, I thought Wake Forest was going to break the curse, to be honest.
Too.
With that rotation, with that lineup, but the bats went cold, which surprised me.
Oh, my God. I saw on Twitter today, I can't remember their exact stats, but I think the 3, 4, and 5 hitters versus LSU last night and the night before, I think they went like a combined 0 for 33. Like, how are you going to win with that? I mean, when your best hitters are coming up and they can't get on base and they're striking out, leaving runners on, like, you're just not going to win that way. That was one of the best college baseball games, though, I've ever seen last night.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Because the hype with Skeens going against Lauder, the fact that both of them were unreal. Trey Morgan, the LSU first baseman, made one of the best defensive plays you're going to see at any level all year. That flip to home plate, absurd. It was baseball at its absolute highest level at the college level. It was fantastic. And LSU, you know, they happened to win it at the end. I think whoever was the home team in that game was probably going to win, right? Like whoever was batting in the bottom of whatever inning, whoever had last AB was probably going to break through. It was LSU who had it. They hit the 2-run homer. But to your point, Ryan, I was shocked. Wake Forest didn't struggle at all into the College World Series. Like in the round of 64, Super Regionals, Bama gave them one tough game, but so many times through the years, like those number one seeds have one little hiccup, they struggle a little bit. Wake didn't show any signs of that. And then they get to Omaha. The 2 games that they did win were only by 1 run.
Yeah.
So they never really were like convincing, and then they play LSU, and their bats just went completely quiet. So here's what's tough. Atlanta, I think, is one of the most overrated teams in football. The problem is their division and their schedule is extremely easy. They obviously get the Bucks twice, which helps.
Yeah, they suck.
Yeah, not good. They play the Cardinals, which helps. They play Tennessee, which helps. They play Houston, which helps. I mean, they get the AFC South. They also get the NFC North as well. So the schedule, the divisions that they play is friendly. What the Falcons have going for them, and Ryan, I've said this, I think outside of San Francisco, there isn't a team in the NFL that has a better running back, wide receiver, tight end combo than the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, Pitts, London, and Bijan, outside of Debo, Kittle, and McCaffrey, is as good as it gets in the NFL. It just is. I mean, that 3 is tremendous, but Desmond Ridder at quarterback, I'm not sold. That defense, putrid. Still one of the worst defenses in the NFL. Arthur Smith, I think he's an okay head coach. He's like middle of the pack. He's like right there in the Frank Reich neighborhood. He's But I can't go over 8.5. I just can't do it. I would go under, even though the schedule is gettable. The problem is when everybody sees Atlanta on their schedule, they'll also think those are gettable games, right? So I think the Falcons will be a fun team in fantasy football. Yeah. I think having players on their team are going to be great. I think they're going to be a good over team this season. They're going to kind of be like the Bears of last year. They're going to score a lot of points. They're going to be exciting to watch. They're going to have fun players. But that defense is still really, really bad. I mean, the Falcons to win 9 games, Ryan. Like, they're saying they're going to be a 500 football team. I can't get there. Yeah, I mean, you got some value on some big-name guys. So the first one that jumps out to me, Cantlay at 33-1. He's played here 5 times. He's finished in the top 15 all 5 times.
That's what I played.
Yeah, and he, he only shot a 68 today. He really couldn't get going. We know how Cantlay is, though. Like, on courses that are birdie fest, especially when he doesn't have any pressure on him, that's when he can go really low. I can see him shooting like a 63, 62 tomorrow, going 7 or 8 under. So I would look out for Cantlay. Hovland at 25-1, I think is a good bet. He's 8 under, 7 shots back of the lead. I mean, Victor hasn't missed a cut yet this season, still hasn't missed one. He's just been a consistent machine. He's been playing well in all the events. I think he's a guy to watch out for. Between McCarthy and Bradley, if you wanted to bet one of those 2 guys, I do like Denny. Denny's one of the best putters on tour, and if this is a birdie fest and everybody's going to have birdie opportunities throughout the round, I mean, Denny with his putting is just going to be right there, so I like him. Ches Reavie always plays well at the Travelers. He shot a 64 on Thursday, 63 today. I think he's going to be in contention. But yeah, I mean, I like Cantlay at 7 under. I mean, how can you not like Scotty Scheffler? Like, if they're giving us 22-1
Yeah.
on Scheffler,
Yeah.
8 shots back, he shot an even
Yeah.
par today, right?
Yeah.
You figure that's his bad round, and then over the weekend, he could shoot like a 16 under, between the 2 days. So, yeah, Ryan, what's nice, I mean, you got some big names that are like 7, 8 shots back, but because this course is so gettable, and these guys, moving day is on Saturday, Mike Tirico, years ago, coined the phrase leaderboard gravity, and it's such a good term, right?
Yeah.
Because when you have big names that are chasing you, and you have guys like Keegan Bradley, Denny McCarthy, Ches Reavie, who aren't like household names, they tend to fall back to the pack a little bit. So if Scheffler, if Cantlay, if Hovland, Rory, if those guys can go low, those other dudes will start to feel the pressure.